So poops, by now, the entire planet is aware of the touching relationship between Donald Joget Trump and Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. Truly incredible relationship, just like the one between Trump and Jeffrey Ep- Whoa. But yeah, no, ever since Trump arrived in KL and did his little dance, it's in kind of uncanny valley, especially since Anwar went over to Ethiopia. Cause remember, Trump did this, and Anwar did that.
On Wednesday, upon arrival at Bole International Airport in Addis Ababa, Abiy surprised Anwar and the delegation by receiving them personally.
Now here's both of them again so you can compare. The grand entrance, the cinematic pause, the hug, looking at diplomatic officers, gesture by gesture. The visual language is almost exactly the same. And I'm like, bro, is that a coincidence? But the next thing was a kicker though. Now I'm sure you've seen press conferences on Air Force One like this one, where Trump calls the reporter a little piggy. But now it looks like our PMX is doing the exact same thing. And just watching them in action together, I'm like, wow, you guys are peas in a pod, sapoops from two bloodlines. That dance was a destiny bond that's gonna link you together, one international hero after another as you compete for the Nobel Peace Prize. Truly amazing. Well, I could be wrong though, but really the political symbolism is kind of unmistakable. Even if Anwar is not consciously imitating Donald Trump, it feels like there's a way in which he's maybe learning from the political appearance, the theater, the way that our Trump sapoop talks to an audience, everything like that, which is interesting. I mean, people have a lot to say about that. Some people say that he wants to berlagak pandai, act like he's a big country, international hero of the world type thing, which is like, maybe. Our PMX does love his hashtag international image. So I don't know, that's maybe part of the game. Might be a bit better if Anwar wasn't going around talking about how colonialism is the problem all the time and everywhere. Hashtag global south, hashtag solidarity. But well, it is what it is. This might be a hot take, but you know, I don't think it's entirely bad that Anwar imitate Donald Trump. You know, about a week back, I actually met a couple of Americans. I was walking outside in Narita, looking for something fun to do on my last night in Japan. I kind of like passed by this one bar. There's a ton of good Google reviews. Look inside, walk away. Look inside, is this good? Doshio kana. And then I see this one dude kind of like waving me in. And there I go in, really nice bar, little piano, awesome master. And there I get mistaken for an SQ pilot and meet Sam, and also get mistaken for some guy named Samuel, by the way. But anyway, we get chatting in the bar, and then we come over to the inevitable topic of hashtag American guilt, which I guess he feels all the more because he and his now wife, congratulations again, live in California. Not exactly the biggest supporters of Donald Trump in the world. And he asked me, so bro, what do you think of Donald Trump? I thought about that question for a quick bit, because beyond the dance, the beast ride, the showmanship, the man actually did some really messed up things to the world economy, like tariff, baby. And there's the whole America first thing. But you know what I said to him? I said, well, you know, whether you agree with the guy or you don't agree with the guy, I think the principle he stands by, a la make America great again, is actually meaningful. Why? Because whether you hate the Republicans, you hate Donald Trump, you want him to be prosecuted for his felonies, Jeffrey Epstein, or whatever, I think it's a great thing to want your country to be successful, to push for it to go forward on the international stage, and to actually make a difference in terms of how Americans see themselves. Sure, like maybe given that Trump is your president, I'm sure that a lot of Americans would probably be thinking to themselves, oh my god,
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama.
But as I said, it's about the principle of the thing, you know? Like, if you actually are super passionate about wanting your country to be successful, I think we can take that away from all the bad things that you're doing and say that that's probably a good thing. So I said it kind of like in this way. I see America as a friend. And friends, we have our ups, we have our downs. Sometimes our friends lose confidence in themselves and they do things that harm us, things that hurt us, things that are objectively not good for us. But I also said that if our friend is really a true friend and if we are a true friend to our friend, then we want our friend to be strong. Like, there's nothing that Malaysia loses if America becomes a strong partner. There's nothing pushing us into an us versus them. And I'm all for seeing a strong America, a strong China, or whatever ally it is that we have on the world stage, you know? So if making America great again is your wish, then by all means, make it happen with or without Donald Trump. And you know, I really wish that Anwar would do exactly the same for Malaysia. Be all make Malaysia great again, Malaysia first, actually push for this country to be better on the world stage rather than just trying to pander to those global south #solidarity sapoops. Because end of the day, you are leading Malaysia as a country, you want to push Malaysia as a country forward. That's a principle that you should respect. So PMX, if you want to push for the version of Anwar Ibrahim that pushes Malaysia forward in the same way that Donald Trump wants to push America forward, you know what? I'm totally all for it. Here's to many more years of your beautiful friendship. Round and round the world it goes, where it stops nobody knows. But yeah, I thought this was fun. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.